Today I'm going to introduce you different techniques to replicate this randomness, and we are not going to waste food. I personally find building shapes the most challenging thing. I like my maps to be interesting, and I spend a lot of time trying to figure out the best coastline. Of course, there are a couple of rules I keep in my head, but most of the time I just follow one rule, and it is chaos. Chaos is good. We like chaos. This is my second tutorial how to make fantasy maps. I have already opened this topic and you can find the first tutorial just here. Let's go. I went with a landscape type. I have a new folder and we can call it shapes. Inside this folder you can have several layers. I will change the color to identify them. And now let's build our rise brush. Start with the dot, customize it. We need our brush to look like a rice grain. So let's add some spacing, and this is where we are. I want more spacing and a smaller size. Now let's apply a variety to the dimension. We also want the angle to change. You can see where I'm going, right? Do you play with the spreading options? Yes. Let's add more lines of rise, but we want it to be more different. Almost there. Okay, cool. I will play with some options because I want it to be more interesting. Alright, we got our rise brush. So open your brush panel and save it. Let's call it rice. Now go to the background and pick a black color. Make sure to get the white in the forefront and let's draw some rice. Pick the size you want. The goal today is to make an interesting world map. Just draw. Let me move it so you can see everything. Wait, that's not the only method, but let's go with order. This could be the first approach. Let me flatten everything and I'll show you something recent. Let's keep it here and call it method 1. Let's keep it apart. The real thing I want to show you is something that recalls the eye map, which is this technique if you can't recall it, and it's amazing, I love it. But we are getting there. We have one layer with the rice brush. Now we can make more layers and draw more rice. I also recommend you to change the size and play with it. You don't know what I'm doing, right? Neither do I. And maybe we can have a different layer too, and more layers, and so. Now go to each of those layers and change the opacity. You don't see it, right? Let me go deeper. Have a new layer and add the tonal range. On the tonal range, you can move to improve or decrease the light. Toggle it until you like what you're saying. What I appreciate of this method is you can really manipulate shapes in a more randomic way. You can hide and show different layers and impact everything. Maybe you don't see what I'm saying, so hold on, I'm getting there. You can also decide to paint more at this point. Let me flatten everything and call it method 2. My intention here was to mix up the rice technique with the eye map technique in a digital way, but honestly we can do even better. There is something that is really common in the eye map technique, and it is clouds. I'm not talking about real clouds, I'm talking about the filter clouds. Make a new layer and label it cloud. Now go to filter, rendering, and make clouds. You can also select the cloud layer and go with the tonal range. I will press just Command L. I can stretch it, I can rotate it, or I can generate the clouds again until I find something I like this. Just saying, if I hide the tonal range at the top, this is what I see. Remember, you can always toggle this layer and play with it. I think that's enough, so let's go with it. I duplicate it and say method number 3. Now we got 3 different starting points and all of them are perfect to draw. Do you remember the video I've shown you in the beginning? Let's do this. Create a new layer for each method. Grab your lovely pen, So let me pick a color. I prefer not to work on high contrast images because my eyes get really damaged. It's just for my eyes. Pick your favorite brush. Mine is this one. Zoom in, use it as it was a rise map. As you can see, I'm using the randomness to choose what I like most. We can resize the layer, so just to help you visualize everything, I will create 2 layers. One will be land and the other will be ocean. This was the rice layer, this was the liners, this is the land, and this is the ocean. I think it's nice. Let me know what you think in the comment. And now I'm gonna have to speed up the process for the other 2, but let me know if you can spot the differences. Again, line art, land, ocean. Something I like of this second method is you got more values, so you can see the fading gray. Let's go with the third one, which I know will scare many of you. I like this method more because I feel like I have more freedom with lines and I feel less influenced by the rice grains. So we got our line art finally. Let me select the water bodies, so oceans, lakes, inner seas, reverse my selection and I create a mask on the layer land so that if I fill the layer I can still change stuff. And this is the third map. And I forgot one small piece, of course. Doesn't really matter if you go with the digital rice grain or if you build your shape from a night map. What really matters for me is that you build everything on top of a mask. The more freedom you have, the better it is. Let's make an example. This is our line art and I will move it and lock it on the land layer. Let me also change color, maybe it will be easier to follow it. Now I can go on my mask with the black pen to remove portions of the land. And this is really interesting because it will help you to have, I don't know, rivers. So go on your mask. But you know, you can draw a new layer and have an outline for your rivers, or you can go on your land layer and add an inner glow and of course multiply. You can stack more effects if you would like to. I have again forgot to introduce myself, so I'm Ren. I'm a professional cartographer and illustrator. You can find more of my work here in the description box. Let's go to the video. Method 1 and the map I got from it. The method 2 and the map I got from it, and the method 3 and the map I got from it. And this is how you can make quick shapes. I'd love to go deeper and talk about how to make them more interesting. Keep all of this in mind, we will talk soon. And these are the shapes we could create with this method. And now you got one more knowledge you can apply within the first tutorial. So don't forget to watch this video and slowly I'm sure you will be able to build your own fancy map. So stay tuned, let me know what you think in the comment, and for today it is everything. See you next time! Ciao cartogratori! Whee! Whee!